classmate and Melina and I are going to expose you about women's rights. We all have human rights. This includes the right to live free from violence and discrimination, to enjoy the best quality of life possible, to be educated, to vote, and to earn equal pay. But around the world, many girls and women continue to suffer discrimination on the basis of sex and gender. Gender inequality is at the root of many problems that disproportionately affect women, such as domestic and sexual violence, a lower wage, and a lack of access to safe education. The consequence and scope of this inequality is far-reaching and suggests a problem in the way that society view and treat women. For many years, women struggle. For many years, women's rights movements have struggled to address this inequality, campaigning to change laws or taking to the streets to demand that their rights need to be respected without judging their feelings. Nowadays, we are in a digital era, so new movements have flourished that make it easier to support these causes from home without the need to attend march or take into the streets. So, what is the struggle for women's rights? What do we mean when we talk about women's rights? What do we are fighting for? The fight for women's rights, it's about many things. It's not only about making new laws, but also in changing how society thinks about women and the problems they face. Sorry. It wants to break down the grown ideas and misconceptions that society have about women capabilities. Figures like Susan May Anthony, who stated "made the rights and nothing more," and "women the rights and nothing less," highlight how women are demanded to be seen as capable humans, as equally capable humans, and according to the World Economic Forum's 2022 report, only 6 countries have achieved all legal gender equality. It wants to make women feel empowered and able to make their own choices and live freely without constraints imposed by gender norms. Despite says that the way things are now, with men having more institutional and societal power, and it's not right or fair. It wants to fix the systematic barriers, discriminatory practices, and patriarchal attitudes that keep women from having equal opportunities. As the former from UK Prime Minister Theresa May said, every woman should be able to go as far as their talents will allow. So about the history of the struggle for women's rights from the years. The history of women fighting for their rights goes way back. It started 100 years ago. And important women like Mary Wollstonecraft, who said, "I don't wish them to have power over men, but over themselves." And Sojourner Truth, who famously asked, "And I'm a woman," at the 1851 Women's Convention, spoke up loudly. They say women deserve the same rights and freedoms as men. In 1848, a big meeting called the Seneca Falls Convention happened in New York. Activists, including Elizabeth Cady Stanton, made the famous declaration of sentiments stating, "We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men and women are created equal."
One of the most known success of the women's rights movement is the activate of suffrage. Women's suffrage and the right to vote was a hard-won victory after a decade in protests and activism. In the United States, in the 19th century, Constitution ratified gave the woman the right to vote. Around the world, the women is still fighting to win the right to vote and have a great political participation and representation in his country. Another success I'm going to talk about is in the areas in education and workplace. Over the years, have been a gradual increase in opportunities in school for women. Now we are allowed to pursue higher education and enter in traditional men files. These programs have helped to change traditional gender roles and stereotypes, paving a way for a greater gender equality in society. However, this success, women's rights movement has faced any challenge and setbacks. One I'm going to highlight the perceived failure in this moment is the ongoing wage gap. Women still earn less than men. The ongoing wage gap in many countries affect Black women, mothers, some communities and religions. Now, who knows about Susan B. Anthony? No? Okay.
I have first a little bit of her, but not so much.
Okay, Susan B. Anthony is one of the most iconic figures in the women's rights movement because she co-founded the National Women Association, travel around the country to give it a speech and making rallies. Susan B. Anthony's education is very important to the woman because she gave us the right to vote in 1920. Another figure I'm going to talk about is Eliza Cady. She founded the Seneca Fall Convention night, making the first convention only for women. Eliza Cady for a woman was a figure of equality, respect, and hard working. Another global icon is Gloria Steinem, a journalist and activist to shape the second wave of activists in the United States of feminists before the 80s. So he challenged the government to improve the equality in his society. All these women make great change to start the progress era in the 19th century, early the 20th century. The activists of the women make a big change in the political, economic, and society reform. In conclusion, we can say that the women rights activist is in university history. Women like Susan B. Anthony, Katie Elizabeth, and Gloria Steinem encouraged several generations to raise their voice and make big challenges for women. Thank you.